Yo, sup with y'all boys and girls, man. Hey, Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on December 12th, 2022. If you're looking for more of this great content, man, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And drop who y'all like down in the comments as well. Y'all know I love going through, seeing who y'all like in the comments. But if you're looking for my best bets, the bets that I'm placing today, as well as best bets from the top handicappers in the world, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com. Click that premium picks tab, and that's where you'll find best bets from the top handicappers on the planet. Link to my $15 NBA Jam session plays in the description. That's my best bet in the NBA every night, man, and we have been red hot on that play, man. We've hit 7 of our last 8 NBA Jam session plays, man. What a week we were in the middle of. We went 7 for 7 last night on the jam session. We didn't miss a game. We're seeing the NBA really well right now, man, and we're in the middle of a crazy hot streak, and we just want to continue to try to keep it going, man. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I release the parlay of the day. That's where I release any late injury news, and if my mind changes on any of these games due to late information coming out of the association. We got a decent card tonight. We want to smash it per usual. I don't know if we're going to stay as hot as yesterday when we didn't miss a game, but we're damn sure going to try to tonight, man. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and hop into today's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Miami Heat on the road, laying 2.5 on the Indiana Pacers, total 228. Miami is still currently on the do not bet list, man. I don't want no parts of Miami. I'm taking the Pacers here at home, plus a 2.5. And if I'm being honest, I think the Pacers mess around and win this game outright. Miami has just been struggling, man. I think everybody's kind of just waiting for Miami to get back in that mode, man. But it might not be coming, man. 12-15 on the season. They've been struggling. You got to realize this was the #1 seed last year. Now they have a negative record. And I don't even love the spot for them here tonight on the road facing this Pacers team. They've been struggling. Only won 2 of their last 5. They just lost their last game in a home game to the worst team in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs. I don't want no parts of this Miami team at all. They did beat the Clippers the game before that, 115-110 at home. You should probably get that win. They lost at home the game before that to the Detroit Pistons, 116-96. Lost on the road to Memphis, 101-93. They did beat Boston in this last 5, but, you know, the 2 losses way heavier than any of those wins in that span. You lost at home to the San Antonio Spurs and the Detroit Pistons. I can't trust you on the road to beat this Indiana Pacers team who's been playing better basketball than you recently. I know the Pacers have only won 2 of their last 5, but, you know, 3 of those games were on the road. Their last 2 were at home. They lost to Brooklyn in their last one, 136-133. That was a bad loss because Brooklyn wasn't playing anybody. Still at home, I think they bounce back and take care of this Miami Heat team who's been struggling. Still on the do not bet list. I don't want no parts of Miami right now. So I'll take the Pacers plus the points. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if they won it outright. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Brooklyn Nets on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Brooklyn laying 5, total 228. This is a tough one for me, honestly. Brooklyn has been balling here recently, man. They've won 4 of their last 5, 16-12 on the season. They just beat the Pacers on the road, 136-133 in a game where none of their starters played. The bench guys were losing all game, and they found a way to come back and get the Pacers there in the end. They beat the Hawks at home, 120-116. They beat Charlotte at home, 122-116. They beat Toronto at home, 114-105. The only loss in that span was the Boston Celtics, 103-92. Like I said, 4 of those 5 were at home. The last game was on the road. They find themselves on the road again here in this one. The Wizards, man, have just been awful. The Wizards should be on the do not bet list, but I really don't be betting them, so there's no reason to put them on there because I'm not looking to bet them anyway. But tonight, I actually am looking to bet them, man, and I'm going to take them here plus the 5. They've just been so awful. They've lost their last 5 games that I think it's time to go contrarian and just hop on them here tonight against the Nets. It's a Monday, man. Mondays typically, in my mind, go weirdly, and I just think it was one of the games where we're supposed to take the Nets, but I'm going the other way, and I'm taking the Wizards. I just got a feeling about this one. The Wizards have just been so terrible that they're due. As I'm going through their schedule right now, they lost their last 5 games. The Clippers, the Pacers, the Chicago Bulls, the Lakers, and the Charlotte Hornets. They lost their last one at home to the Los Angeles Clippers, 114-107. Washington has been struggling, man. Like I said, they lost their last 5. Let me see if it go back further than that. Yeah, they go back even further than that. They lost their last 6 because they lost to the Nets on November 30th. And that game was in Brooklyn. The Nets won that one 113-107. I think this one's going to be just a little more competitive. It's not my favorite game. We're going to go contrarian. The Nets been too hot. Wizards has been so bad. I don't know. I just got a feeling. Give me the Wizards plus the 5 here in this. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Atlanta Hawks on the road facing the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies laying 6.5, total 228. For me in this one, I'm on the Grizzlies, man. I'm not fading them boys, man. These boys just back in that mode from last season, man. We know the Grizzlies are getting these streaks, man, where they just dominate everybody in their path, especially at home, man. And y'all know I've been fading the Hawks on the road anyway. Here recently, we've been fading the Hawks ATS anyway. We're going to do it again. Give me the Grizzlies. We're going to lay the points, man. Grizzlies have ripped off their last 7 games, and they really not been playing with folks, man. They beat up on the Pistons 114-103, double-digit win. They beat up on Oklahoma City 123-102, double-digit win. Beat up on Miami at home 101-93. That's an 8-point win. Beat up on Detroit again on the road 122-112. Beat up on Philly 117-109. That's just their last 5. They're thrashing teams, man. 4 of the last 5 have been at home, so they're comfortable at home right now. This one's at home as well. 5 of their last 6 at home. The Grizzlies defend home court really well. I think they defended again here tonight. Y'all know what I say about the Hawks. They've been struggling here recently as well. 14-13 on the season. And especially I don't like the spot for them after that game last night, the overtime game against the Bulls. They did pull it out. What a crazy game that was, man. What a crazy one that was. I ain't seen a buzzer beater with 0.5 seconds on the clock in a minute. I thought DeMar DeRozan had put the game away with the 3 free throws. But the Hawks got it done. We had the Bulls plus the 2.5 in that one, so we cashed. But, you know, that was a sweat. The Bulls should have won it in regulation. Bro missed the free throw at the end to win it. You can't miss that free throw, bro. You're in the NBA. To win the game, you can't miss that free throw for the Bulls. But he missed it. The Atlanta Hawks, overtime, did what they had to do, and they won it. I'm still not in love with them because right before that, they had lost 3 straight, and they were on the verge of losing 4 straight. Now you're on the road facing the Grizzlies, who go crazy at home. I don't love the spot at all. So the 3 that they lost were the Oklahoma City Thunder, the New York Knicks, and the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, they just were in that tough, hard-fought game with the Chicago Bulls on a back-to-back. Don't love the spot at all for the Hawks. I'm laying the points with the Grizzlies here in this matchup. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, a.k.a. the Cover Buddies, on the road facing the Dallas Mavericks, my favorite team. The Mavs are laying 8.5, total 228. Fairly simple one for me, man. We're going to take the Thunder Buddies, a.k.a. the Cover Buddies, plus the points here in this one. The Mavs are on the do not bet list. They're the one team on there, though, that we do bet. They might come off here recently, or soon, I should say. They have been playing a little better, but they're still on the do not bet list. And for games like this to remind me, these are the games right here while they're still on the do not bet list, for a strict reminder of who the Dallas Mavericks are. Whenever they're laying over 6 points, I'm looking to take the other side. It's just what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. Give me the Thunder plus the 8.5. The Mavs might even in this game be up 15, 17 points, and they're still not out of the woods. The back door for this Mavericks team is always wide open. Whenever we're laying huge numbers, man, we got to take the other side now with this Mavericks team until they can show us something otherwise. I've seen this story too many times this year. And I'm going to take the Cover Buddies to cover this one. I think the Mavs do win it. I think there's going to be times in this game where they are leading pretty convincingly. Especially, y'all know I like taking good teams off embarrassing losses. And that's exactly what the Mavs were handed in their last one against the Chicago Bulls. Granted, no Luka Doncic in that one, which is why the game was so ugly. But here tonight at home, the Mavs should bounce back and have a good game. But I don't think a good game is necessarily a 10-point win for this Mavericks team, something that I really haven't seen thus far this season. Thunder have been pretty competitive covering spreads all season long. I think they can get us another one here today, another cover. So I'm going to take the Thunder plus the points. Like I said, the Mavs, I've seen this story before this season, man. The Mavs laying huge numbers. They just don't get it done, no matter if they're at home or on the road. Even in times they've been looking dominant, the back door for this Mavericks team is always wide open. And I think the Thunder are a perfect team to walk right through it. So I'm going to take the plus the points here with the Thunder. If you want to bet the Mavs in this situation, I would look to maybe first quarter. They might come out hot after the embarrassing loss. First half, even maybe. Full game, no, don't do it. I think the back door is wide open, and I'm on the Thunder. And y'all know the Mavs are my favorite team. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Cleveland Cavs on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. Cleveland laying 5.5, total 223.5. Donovan Mitchell is on this injury report as day-to-day. Lower leg soreness or something like that. With or without him, no, I'm taking the Cavs and I'll lay the points, man. I know San Antonio has been playing better here recently, man. They won back-to-back games. I never thought I would say that for the rest of the season with this San Antonio Spurs team, the worst team in the NBA in my mind. But hey, they shocked the world, won back-to-back games, and they beat the Miami Heat on the road in Miami, 115-111. The game that cemented that Miami will be on the do-not-bet list for a while. Good win for San Antonio, though, man. In the game before that, like I said, they beat the other worst team in the NBA in the Houston Rockets, 118-109. Back-to-back games for the San Antonio Spurs. I will say that the two games before that, they got beat handedly. Phoenix beat them 133-95. New Orleans beat them 117-99. And both of those games were in San Antonio, and I can kind of see the game's going more like that than the last two, man. I'm going to take the Cavs here. The Cavs, I know we typically look to take them at home, not on the road, but in my mind, they're just a much better team than this San Antonio Spurs team. Even without Donovan Mitchell, I think they have the firepower to get it done. I'm going to believe in them, boys. I think that they can go in there in San Antonio and escape out of there with a win. So I'll lay the points here with Cleveland. San Antonio has been playing above their means recently. I think they return back to their median. I'm going to take the Cavs, and I'll lay the points here in this matchup. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road facing the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland laying 4.5, total 232. We just saw this game the other night, man. Portland was my best bet that night. We were laying 5.5. Portland won by 6. They got it done. And I'm going to go back to the well today, and I'm going to take Portland again. I just feel like typically this year on these home and homes where they play one night, they take a night off, and they play the same team in the same building. I just feel like here recently, man, they've gone the exact same way the first game has gone. A perfect example of that was like, let's go with that Pelicans Suns. Suns came into the New Orleans, lost, took a rest day yesterday. They got beaten overtime again. Pelicans covered again. That's just one example. There's plenty more if y'all go through and look. But I think the same thing is in order here tonight for this Blazers team. If y'all remember correctly, man, to start the season, the Blazers was one of the hottest teams in the NBA until Damian Lillard got hurt. Then they went through that little lull. He's getting back healthy, man. He's back in that mode. And I think the Blazers are finna get back in that mode. I think people forget just how good Damian Lillard is, man. He's a all-NBA type player, first team all-NBA, meaning he's in some seasons he's a top 5 player in the NBA. That's what that means. And arguably one of the top guards, if not the top guard in the NBA. He's in that airspace, man. And when he's in that mode, man, I'm not looking to fade him. And he's in that mode right now. Especially, y'all know I don't even like the Timberwolves anyway. They're on the do-not-bet list for a reason. They desperately need to get back home. They desperately need Karl Anthony Towns back. Y'all know how I feel about Rudy Gobert. I like Anthony Edwards. He's a really good player, but I think what he's surrounded with right now is not ideal for his play style. We're fading the Timberwolves like we continue to do. And we're going to take the Blazers here at home to stay pretty hot, man. I like what I'm seeing out of this Blazers team. I think they're flying under the radar. And those are the teams I like to bet, man. Give me the Blazers. I'll lay the points. I think they do it again just like they did the other night here in this matchup. In our last and final game of the night, man, we got the Boston Celtics on the road facing the Los Angeles Clippers. Boston laying 3.5, total 222.5. Short, sweet, and simple for me in this one. I'm taking the Celtics. I'll lay the 3.5. Y'all know me. I will fade the Celtics, man. I will fade them. We faded them in their last matchup against Golden State. Tonight, in my opinion, is just not that night, man, especially not for this Clippers team. Clippers have been struggling. They've only won 2 of their last 5. I don't love the scheduling spot at all for the Clippers either. They are coming off of a long road trip. They just played 4 straight road games. They split, went 2-2 in that. Now you come back home and face the Celtics. think they get smashed. I'm on the Celtics in this one. The Celtics have been playing like the best team in the NBA. They're not going to win every game. We know that. But, you know, they have looked like the best team in the NBA thus far this season. Their one kryptonite is the Warriors, and there's no shame in that. A lot of people's kryptonite is the Warriors. Off of a bounce back, I think they come in here, take care of this Clippers team, who, like I said, has been struggling. Paul George and Kawhi look like they're going to play as of right now, the time of recording this video. But I would take that with a grain of salt. Y'all know this Clippers team, man. Y'all heard my spiel on the NBA yesterday. I could see this being a game where one of them sits. Even if they don't, though, if they do play, I'm still on the Celtics. If they sit, I'm on the Celtics. Regardless of what happens in this game, I'm on the Celtics in a bounce-back spot. I think they take care of this Clippers team, who should be on the do-not-bet list, man. They really should. They haven't been playing how they should be. A lot of people had this Clippers team pegged to go to the finals this year. I don't see it. They got to flip a switch here soon if that's the case. And I don't think the flip switch comes against the hottest team in the NBA right now, the Boston Celtics. I'm landing 3.5 here with Boston. This might be one where you might even think about landing extended. Give me the Celtics here in this matchup. And that's going to conclude tonight's NBA Jam session on December 12th, 2022, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your boy, man. Subscribe if you're new. Drop what y'all like down in the comments as well. Y'all know I love going through, seeing what y'all like in the comments. But if you're looking for my best bets, the best that I'm placing today, as well as best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com. Click the Premium Picks tab, and that's where you'll find best bets from the best handicappers in the world. Link to my $15 NBA Jam session play is in the description. We have been red hot on that play, man. Another winner yesterday. We've hit 7 of our last 8. We're seeing the NBA really well, man. Y'all know what we did on the Jam session yesterday. We went 7 for 7. We didn't miss a game yesterday on the Jam session. What a day. What a week we're in the middle of, man. Let's stay red hot, man. That's what I want to do. I want to stay red hot. Y'all know these streaks come and go. We're in the middle of one right now, and let's squeeze out every chance and opportunity we can out of this hot streak, man. Let's try to keep it continuing. Follow me on Twitter, Parlay Guy J, man. I should release a parlay of the day today. I also update y'all on any injury news and let y'all know my mind changes on any of these games due to late information. Hey, let's stay red hot, man. It's your boy Jay Briggs. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. Let's make some money tonight. I'm going to talk to y'all on Twitter. Tweet me any questions. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.